I'm just using this recording to transcribe the interview afterwards, and like this video is
Cool.
not getting posted anywhere.
Fire.
Groovy.
Sounds good. Is my audio good? Literally, my power's out. There's
Yeah,
electrical
no,
fire across.
an electrical fire.
Okay,
How'd
good.
that happen?
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, I can hear you great.
No idea.
Where are you calling in from?
Okay, cool, perfect. I'm in LA right now.
Ah,
Yeah.
groovy. Yeah, that would
Where are you
explain.
at?
I'm in Indiana. I work for IU's college radio station, so I'm in Bloomington, just south of Indianapolis. Yeah,
Sick. Amazing.
that would explain when I was emailing with Bryce. He had mentioned both Pacific time and Eastern time. I was like, huh, I wonder if Benny's coming in from the West Coast.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I would explain it.
Fire.
All right, so let's talk about the music that made you and the music that you make. So,
Yeah.
was there really any music playing around in your house growing up, or what kind of music was playing when you were growing up?
A little bit of everything, I guess. Like the Beatles, Elton John, like Bob Dylan, like Marvin Gaye, like a lot of stuff. Like my parents listened to a lot of music, so I just had it in the house a lot, and like had a piano in the house and lots of instruments. My mom was a singer, so just exposed to a lot of music and a lot of cool stuff, just like older
Mm.
60s, 70s music.
Yeah, where was your mom a professional musician?
Yeah, I mean, for years she was like doing folk music. Not so much anymore, but like, yeah, on the kind of on the similar grind to what I do.
Yeah,
Just,
I,
you know,
just going out and doing her own thing.
yeah.
Yeah, what was of the music that was playing around your house? Was there any that you were like really especially vibing with?
I think I didn't realize it at the time, but probably more now. Like, I'm definitely more influenced by like some of those artists that I said, like the Beatles, Elton John. I listen to a lot now. I mean, I was more of a hip hop kid growing up, so
Mhm.
I got into my own music. But yeah, I think I listened to a lot of like, George Harrison, like Beatles, a lot of Elton John, and just a lot of that stuff has influenced me a lot for sure, especially in the new music that I'm making.
Yeah, yeah. So you mentioned discovering hip hop on your own. Was that kind of the first music that you thought like was yours? The first one that you discovered independent of anyone else, really?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that was the music I discovered and kind of was like, this is my own thing, and kind of tried to like find my identity through hip hop music
Hmm.
for sure.
How would you say that hip hop really? I mean, obviously it influenced your professional identity, but how would you say that it helped you learn more about yourself on a more emotional level or a more like humanistic level?
I think it just all around helped me with my confidence and just understanding, I guess, what I was going through or what other people go through. But for the most part, I mean, I made it my identity, so it was kind of just like everything I was. So it really just was like, I don't know. I guess it was just my identity is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because like it just made me like who I was. I guess I just like listened to it a lot and like kind of built my life around it.
Yeah, I felt that same way when I was in high school. I was like termed as the jazz head just because I listened to all of these crazy ass jazz records, and now I'm
Right.
listening to everything else. But that was I get where you're coming from in talking about it, like making your identity. So was hip hop like was there a social aspect to that music? Like were your friends listening to similar sorts of things you were? Like what kind of music would you guys, be playing on a Friday night driving around?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a social aspect to it. A lot of, I mean, I grew up on like, Jay-Z, Nas, Eminem, Busta Rhymes, like a lot of that stuff, and like got into the older stuff later, like Pac and Biggie and Bone Thugs was like a
Mhm.
huge one. So yeah, we listened to all of that and just like roll around, smoke weed, and just be idiots or whatever. You know what I mean? Or free. Everybody has their freestyling days, where they just
Oh
freestyle
yeah.
with their friends.
Oh yeah. When did that sort of like transition happen? Like the transition from, just shooting the shit freestyling in the car to maybe I can do this and started making your own music.
Yeah, I kind of tried to start taking it seriously pretty young, to be honest, because uh, I didn't really have a thing, and like a lot of people had their thing, and that's why I was saying like kind of made it my identity. So it was like I was the kid who was always trying to like make music or whatever. I wasn't very good, but I would record myself at home, and like I would record other kids too who just like wanted to like make music or whatever. And so I guess I was like making all through like early high school. I was making, pressing my own CDs and just like handing them out and stuff like that. So probably pretty early on, like 12 or 13, I was like recording a lot, um, and just like figuring it out basically. There's not like where I'm from, like I grew up in Montreal, like there's not a lot of people. I mean, at least where I grew up, there wasn't a lot of people doing music. So I was like, felt like I was maybe
Mhm.
one of the only people who was like recording themselves and stuff like that until
Yeah,
I got into the scene later on.
that's cool. So you were born and grew up in Montreal. Um, what motivated the move to LA?
Just I had family out here as well, and just knowing that this was the city to kind of be at for music or just for entertainment, and like kind of being held back a little bit from the city I was from, just in terms of like not knowing anything about the industry. And like I really had no knowledge of like anything. I didn't know how anything worked, like what shit was, like what publishing was, what like anything. So like coming out here, it's like I feel like everybody knows that everything's just about the industry. So I learned a lot. Just like I was like back and forth for a really long time, and then I moved to Toronto. I was in Toronto for like 5 years, and then I moved here about 3 years ago to LA. So
Yeah.
I've been here for a little while. Yeah.
So one of the biggest hurdles I feel like with, trying to break into the music industry is that people get discouraged like very quickly. What was, I mean, you started making these recordings at 12, 13 years old. What was like the first real sign of encouragement that you received on like a professional level beyond like your parents saying, "Oh, we're just glad you're doing something nice with your time"?
um, I guess I started putting myself out there. Like I knew there was shows going on. There was like a, a pretty decent community going on in Montreal, and I would try to get on shows, and people started to like it. I sort of made a name for myself at the time. It was a different project completely at that time, but um, yeah, I started to see like people like blogs posting about it when stuff was super blog heavy, and yeah, just like getting a little bit of recognition in my hometown, and just like meeting a ton of people, other artists and producers, and uh, opening for acts that would come to town and stuff like that, and like definitely like built a little bit of a name for myself out there, and that helped a lot for sure. Just like building my confidence and just like getting the experience being an artist. for
Yeah.
sure.
So you talked about also your influences, George Harrison, Elton John, Marvin Gaye, all those. Do you, and as also your own music, like the music that you discovered on your own stuff, like, Nas, Eminem, Bone Thugs. Do you find like any of those influences like consciously creeping into the music you make now?
Totally, totally, yeah. Like I definitely subconsciously, consciously like do it all the time, like with flow patterns or just like the type of production that I'm going over or
Mhm.
stuff like that. Definitely all the time.
The type beat,
And like
as
even
it
just
were,
new music that I listen to. Type beat? What'd you say?
the type beat, you know, going for
Yeah, George
the
Harrison
type
type
beat.
beat. Yeah, no, yeah, no, it definitely helps a lot. Just like listening to music, a lot of different music, and just trying to pull from my favorite things and just make what I want to make, basically.
Hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to kind of segue now into, the music you're making and like going the other direction. So, who do you think listens to your music, and who do you want to listen to your music that might not be right now?
Um, who listens to my music? People who are misunderstood. I don't know. I guess just like people. I like to think that I come from like I have like a bit of a different perspective on things, but I just think people who like enjoy good music and are trying to be understood and can kind of like find themselves through the music.
Hmm. Hmm. And who
Yeah, like just the
who
generation.
and who do you want to listen to your music? Like you talk about the misunderstood population. Like, is there are there more like, I guess, broader? I guess what I'm trying to say is, there are a lot of people out there that feel misunderstood, and some of them listen to your music, some of them don't. How do you get those who don't, trying to tune in, trying to resonate with the message?
I think just staying true to yourself and just writing what you're about your experiences. Like 100% of the time, there's people out there who've been through it too and can relate to it. So I think trying to just talk about what's real to you resonates with people off the rip. And so that helps a lot with in terms of gaining new fans and getting people to like love your shit. I mean, there's something to be said about a good mindless banger from time to time. But I think what really builds fans like is the stuff that, people can relate to in terms of just like what your struggles or, love or whatever it may be that you're talking about. I think it helps to just have a bit of a message or something that people can latch onto and relate to, just something you're going through for sure.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think I've seen most of my core fans come from songs like that.
Yeah. What would you say if you had to pick one song from your discography that you would say is like the most Benny Mayne song? Like if someone asks you like, I only have 3 minutes to listen to one of your songs, which one should I listen to? What's your immediate recommendation?
Probably I Ain't Shit. It's the most like personal and like raw, and it's just acoustic. And I think
You cut off.
especially just being an acoustic song.
Mhm. I'm sorry,
Refreshing
Benny.
from my other stuff.
You had just cut out right right
Did I cut
after
out of
you
it there?
said acoustic song.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no, I was saying my song "I Ain't Shit" would probably be the one I would suggest to listen to, just because I guess it's the most like direct, raw, kind of. It's emotional, but just kind of a direct song that is unlike my other stuff. I guess like it's very bare and acoustic and personal, and I think people tend to like latch on to that
Mhm.
song and like that song a lot.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely get that, especially with, we do all love a mindless banger, but if that's all that you're offering to the table, then people don't tune in as much. So you do have to offer them the kind of like I ain't shit to show that there's, a reality and a real person behind all these songs.
Totally. I think having both and just having a little bit of depth kind of brings everything together.
Mhm.
Shows you're human for sure.
So, how would you, in an ideal world, how would you like to see your legacy play out within the music industry for generations to come?
I mean, hopefully I'm just making timeless music and I can build uh with my fans and um create kind of like a community with my fans. And I want my fans to feel like they can talk to me and talk to each other, like be friends with each other. And it's more than just music. It's like we all have each other's backs kind of thing. Like
Mhm.
I would love for there just to be like a big family and just a big community and like everybody can kind of just talk to each other. Like they don't have to feel like they're strangers and that it's all just based around love and just like we're all kind of out here winging it. So I just hope people kind of like get that and just make timeless shit that hopefully lasts forever.
That's great. All right. Last question. Any next steps? Any projects coming up that you can let us know about? Any sneak peeks?
Yeah, yeah. I got the EP coming out in May, I believe. It's May 21st, but I got the next single is Sun in My Eyes, and that's coming out on the 23rd. We got a video for that. We just shot it up in Joshua Tree, which is like in the desert. And I'm really excited about it. It's super trippy, weird vibe. And this is probably the more different, the most different song on the project. It's it's like, I guess it's more organic, more like instrumental,
Mhm.
opposed to like some of the mindless bangers that are on it. You know what I mean? So I guess it's the most personal one, and
Mhm.
I'm really excited about this. It's one of my favorite songs, probably my favorite song on the project.
Great. All right. Well, that's all I have, unless you have anything final that you want to tell the people.
Yeah, I mean that's it, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Of course. I'm always glad to, and after the EP comes out, I'm probably gonna end up reviewing it, and yeah, I'll be sure to keep this relationship open.
Absolutely, bro. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for taking the time, Benny. Have a great rest of your
Yeah,
day.
thank you. You too.
So